Right now, Canadians pay more for government in higher taxes. They pay more in taxes than they do for food, clothing, and shelter combined. In fact, the average family is paying $10,000 more tax today than they were before the lost Liberal decade. And while you scramble to file before the deadline, checking every line to avoid being hit by a CRA audit, you learn that global Liberal elites are getting away without paying anything at all. One of these insiders happens to be Justin Trudeau's economic advisor and handpicked successor, Mark Carney. It turns out that at the same time he was advising Trudeau for higher taxes, Carney was stashing his company cash in an offshore fund registered to a post office box above a bicycle shop in Bermuda. Now, he didn't pick Bermuda for the weather. KPMG says that Bermuda has no capital gains tax, dividend tax, or withholding tax, making it one of the world's most notorious tax havens. In fact, Mark Carney's company has been called Canada's biggest tax dodger. While you're double-checking your tax return to avoid a penalty, Carney and his global elite Liberal friends dodge theirs, and then they make the government raise taxes on these people behind me to pay the difference. Last year alone, the Liberals, with Carney advising them, wrote off $5 billion in corporate taxes, including $1 billion for just 5 companies. Meanwhile, the CRA was busy harassing small businesses and charities, forcing them to rifle through old receipts from 6 years earlier, charging fees and fines and endless accounting and lawyer fees falling on the backs of businesses not different than this one. Now, you can't avoid your taxes. Global elites should not be able to either. And that is why I will end the Liberal two-tier tax system, where elites get loopholes and working people get audited. And I'm going to be putting hard-working Canadians first for a change. Here's how. 1, we will be naming a Bring It Home Economic and Tax Task Force, whose mandate will be to ensure that we close overseas tax havens and force the very wealthy to pay what they owe. That my task force will specifically propose solutions to close loopholes that allow tax havens to be a source of evading taxes for the well-connected and the global elite. I'll also direct CRA to reapportion the use of its staff. We're going to have fewer auditors going after charities and small businesses and more going after international tax evaders. The goal will be to collect an extra $1 billion from international tax havens and by closing the loopholes that enable them. We will create a public name and shame registry so that global, multinational, and billionaire tax dodgers are named and exposed so that everyone knows who they are. And we will expand the offshore tax informant program, giving whistleblowers up to 20% of recovered funds when they help expose illegal tax schemes.